The Queen is in Perth to open the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting amid claims it must change or risk becoming irrelevant. The Prime Minister's chairing 2 days of talks between leaders of more than 50 countries. But there's no escape from local politics. Tony Abbott's in the West too, lining up his own meetings with world leaders. Let's go now to Chief Political Correspondent Mark Simpkin in Perth. Mark, what can we expect today?
Well, today we get the grand opening ceremony. The Queen will officially declare the talks open. Now, apparently it's not going to be anything like the Commonwealth Games. We're not going to get great spectacular, and the leaders don't march in behind flags or anything. They're being driven into the venue one at a time, being met at the door by some Aboriginal elders, and then being shown into the room where the ceremony will get going later this morning.
Well, let's hear a little bit about what the... Sorry, Mark, is there any sign, rather, of the protests that were predicted to happen outside the CHOGM meeting?
Well, there's certainly no sign of it around here. I'm just outside the convention centre where the talks are going on. No protesters anywhere to be seen. We are getting reports that there are small gatherings further out, and there are plans for them to march towards the venue. They're certainly representing a wide coalition of interests. The protesters include anti-nuclear campaigners, Zimbabwean trade unions. They also include people wanting homeless rights, refugees, deaths in custody, certainly a rainbow coalition, but they're unlikely to get very close to this place. The police presence has gone from heavy to overwhelming overnight. It's basically lockdown for blocks around the convention centre. So I walked out of the hotel early this morning. I was almost trampled by scores of police jogging in uniform, in unison, and down the street like some sort of Roman legionnaires. The Prime Minister was asked overnight what she thought about the protests, and here's what she had to say.
Of course, attending a protest rally is someone's right and entitlement, but any protest activity we want to see being peaceful activity, as well as being a vibrant democracy. We are a wonderful, peaceful place, and we want to see that spirit of Australia recognised as people exercise their entitlement to protest.
And Mark, the British Foreign Secretary has warned that the Commonwealth itself could become redundant. Is any real reform likely out of these meetings?
Well, it depends how you define real and how you define reform. There is a real hope here to try and strengthen proactive intervention, as they call it. It's easy for the Commonwealth, or relatively easy, to suspend a Fiji or throw out a Zimbabwe after things have gone bad in those countries. What they're trying to push for here is something to try and check out the country's human rights abuses or alleged human rights abuses before things get out of hand, before there's a coup, whatever. Now, there is some progress towards that, but the big ticket item, if you like, which is the idea of a human rights watchdog, an independent commissioner, I'm told that idea is dead in the water.
And Mark, what's on the Queen's agenda after the opening of CHOGM today?
Well, it's more of the same, really. The Queen is all about food today after the opening ceremony. Perhaps she's still digesting the kangaroo stew she was served or shown yesterday at an Aboriginal college. Today we've got a lunch she'll be hosting for new members of or new heads of Commonwealth countries. Tonight there'll be a banquet for all the leaders. Tomorrow morning a community barbecue, and then she flies back to Britain.
Mark Simpkin, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, very squinty.